Hello, hello, hello. You caught me on the phone texting about an appointment. More technical difficulties today. Why is that? Mercury retrograde. Yes, that is why. Well, it might have something to do with the platform I'm using. Very frustrating, but I'm here. I was only, 3 minutes late? Sorry about that. But let me just finish texting my thought. And we will get going. Seems like the whole day I've been behind. Have you ever had that feeling? It would help if I could type though too. Okay. All right, so how is everyone? Let me turn on chat. Ooh, and there's Shri. Welcome, Shri. How are you doing? So tonight, I decided it was going to be a couch session. So I've been gone most of today. The little doggies I thought would appreciate having a session in the house, but about 15 minutes ago, they decided they're going to go outside. So yes, as usual, I'm sure they will make a thrilling entrance because they always do, right? Oh, here comes one now. Who is that? Oh, it's Dexter. Hi, Dexter. He's naked too. He's just wearing his bow tie. Oh, are you going to say hello, Dex? So for anyone new, we will be starting about 10 after with a healing pulse. And then we will go on and I will be taking individual requests to release trapped emotions. So if you've got something going on, let me know and I will see if you have anything emotional that is playing a role. And then tonight we're going to try another piece of the tool that we used last week. Last week I had a list of over 400 negative trapped emotions. Oh, there's Jane and Marina. Welcome. Um, this week I've got a whole page of negative beliefs, which I don't think I've really done any work with the group on that. This is something that, as I said, is part of my new tool, but it's I've had it for a while, and sometimes it comes up in regular sessions. So there's Valerie, welcome. So, and I've heard from Joan. Joan's going to be running a little late, so she already put in her request for individual healing. Yes, going to be a fabulous night. Probably a little low key. Where's Duncan? Go get Duncan. So Dexter went to get his toenails cut this week, and he didn't want to sit on the table. He wanted the lady to hold him while he got his toenails cut. Just a little spoiled. Honda, Dexter. Yes, call you Duncan. Go get Duncan. Go. Go get Duncan. Oh, there he is. Crazy. So, as I was saying, about 10 after, we'll start with our first healing pulse of the night. So I've got Joan on the list. Shri, I'm going to add you to the list because you're feeling blocked. Oh, and you know, I was going to do something too. All right, so Valerie, we've got some anxiety. I was going to talk a little bit about Mercury retrograde. Let me just find it. because there are ways to things that Mercury retrograde is good for. And on my Summer Avalon Healing Arts page, I did share a post that actually Lisa had put about all the planets in retrograde, because it's not just Mercury. And so thank you for Lisa for having posted that so I could share it. All right. Jane, that's amazing. You've been working on that for a while. I'm very impressed with you. That's a lot of hard work to make that change. So does that mean you're going to switch to work on something else? Remember when I first met you, you were working on decisions and shopping, and that came easier. That was sort of a fun thing. Okay. We can make sure that you continue to improve having what did you call it? A lower key attitude, not needing so much approval. So this is why I wanted to do this session from the couch, because I've got Duncan here, Dexter here, so I've been gone all day. So yes, and you are just so much of a help. And it is 10 after. So let's get started on our first healing pulse of the night. So I want you to think about where you want to receive the energy. I'm just seeing if I missed anybody. So anyone who's new, think about where you want to receive healing, especially if you're in pain, if you've got some discomfort, or if you've got anxiety. Where are you feeling that? And that's where you're going to want to direct the energy. And to direct the energy, what you'll do is rub your hands together and then place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. So if you feel some anxiety and say you feel it in your chest, that's where you want to place your hands. If you've got like some knee pain, that's where you want to receive the healing. If you don't really have a specific place that you want to receive the energy, I would suggest sending it to your heart or your head. All right, so rub your hands together until they're warm. Place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. I guess for me, Dexter's going to get it. And imagine that my hands are on your hands. And so not only are you receiving your own healing energies, but mine too. Oh my gosh, Joan. You probably were speeding like a crazy woman. Okay, so with my hands on your hands, imagine the energy starting to flow. And the most important part is that you're open and allowing, bringing in the healing energy, having it go exactly to where it needs to go. And just breathe it in. Open, allowing, just breathe it in. So imagine the energy just flowing, going to exactly the the spot that it needs to go to, and imagine the energies allowing for healing. Just breathe it in. Oh my gosh, Dexter. Okay. And on that note, that was our first healing pulse of the night. What do you think, Dex? So this weekend, I am teaching my first Reiki training. Very excited. And they have added new trainings for animal Reiki. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the whole series, but I might just do the basic 1 and 2. Just because, I've got a few critters here that might like the energy even more. Crazy, huh? I just found out about it. It's not something that I knew about before. So, although, giving energy to animals, I've always done, but this is a class specifically for Reiki and animals. Okay, so Joan, you are at the top of the list. So if anybody has come in, let's see, on the list I've got Joan, Shri, Valerie, and Jane. Let me know if or what you want to work on. Joanne, I think I'm missing. Did you have something? Did I miss a statement before? Because you're talking about your friend found a neighbor to stay with him. Are you talking about the neighbor that I spoke with? Just making sure. That's got to be it. Well, that's a blessing for all involved. Okay, so we're starting with Joan. And so we're going to do some work with releasing trapped emotions, but with my new tool, I have a whole list of negative beliefs, which I haven't really done work with negative beliefs in this group. That's more for people with the private sessions. But it's sort of a cool little tool that I've been playing around with, and it can be powerful. So we're going to do that tonight. So we'll do a couple rounds of releasing trapped emotions, and then we'll switch over to negative beliefs, okay? All right, so let's see what tool we're going to use for Joan. Okay, Marina, I am glad you're back to school, even if it's just one class. But that heartbeat is definitely concerning. We will see what comes up. And so let me grab the sheet we're going to use for Jones. So, Joan, the trapped emotion of guilt comes up. Let me get an age on this. Around age 28. Ooh, and there's Paula. Welcome, Paula. That is not good, Paula. All right. Just seeing if I'm... Joan, we are good. So releasing guilt as a trapped emotion from around age 28. That is playing a role in how you feel about the breakup. I don't know if that makes sense. It might. Okay, so did that release? Yes. And has the voids been filled? Yes. Okay. So Shri, you are next and you're feeling blocked. So let's see what tool we're going to use for you. We're going to use the same tool. Low self-esteem. Let me get an age on that. Around age 18. So plus or minus a year. So 17, 18, 19. So let's release that. Because somehow that's playing a role with feeling blocked. Okay, so that released. And sometimes they don't make sense, right, Joan? So, but somehow it's playing a role in it. And for those of you who are familiar with the term shadow selves, sometimes trapped emotions can be trapped with that shadow self that is not obvious because it's more of a subconscious, unconscious kind of thing. And so I've had an ethics professor, gosh, in February, not too long ago. She did not believe you could work on your shadow, and I disagreed with her because, especially if you see patterns but they don't make sense, oftentimes it's your shadow playing a role. So Valerie, anxiety, you are next. Negativity, let me get an age on that. Around age 27. Yes, that's very important, Joan. All right, so negativity around 27. So let's get rid of that, Valerie. Okay, so I'm getting that released. Good. All right, Jane, you are next. Ooh, self-limitation, Jane. Let me get an age on that. I will add Sissy to the list for stress. Okay, so let's see, self-limitation. '28, Jane. So I wonder that late 20s might be the age of the night because we've got 28, 27, and now 28 again. All right, so releasing and removing self-limitations for Jane. Definitely worrisome, Marina. Are you going to your doctor and checking on this too? Self-limitation is where you sort of hold yourself back. You limit yourself. So are there things that you wanted to do and the little voice in your head said, oh, I can't do that. And maybe you've had regrets ever since. All right, so Marina, you are next. Let's see what tool I'm using for Marina. We're going to stick with the same tool. Despair. Let me get an age on that. 19, Marina. Let's go ahead and release that because it's definitely not helping you at all. Okay, so that released and the voids have been filled. Paula's got headaches, so Paula, you are next. If you're not on my list, let me know. So we definitely have time tonight. Hostility, Paula. I get an age on that. 29, Paula. Let's release that. That sounds like that fits, Jane, because it's mainly things that you thought about doing and you sort of talked yourself out of it. Okay, so with Paula, hostility has been released. All right, Sissy, we're going to work on her stress level. Domineering. Let me get an age on that. Run age 29 for Sissy, Valerie. Domineering. So let's release that. You know, and well, you know, Paula, that typically when something comes up, if the same thing comes up again, it's oftentimes, maybe it's the same age, but it's a different event. And I think that makes sense. Say you're experiencing a lot of hostility. It might be from the same person, you know, where 1 month you have a confrontation, there's a lot of hostility, and a month later, maybe 6 months later, something happened again. And if things are recent, you would probably remember that. But 29 was a while ago, so it might be same person, just different events. Yeah, definitely. Let's keep getting rid of that, and let me just check on domineering for Sissy. Okay, so that released. We are going to do that definitely matches up for you, doesn't it, Valerie? Okay, so in another couple minutes, we are going to do another healing pulse, and then we'll do another round of releasing negative emotions. I just want to talk a little bit about my next month in the Abundance series. It starts October 17th. It's about relationships, dating, and even if you are married, it's still about relationships, dealing with the connection to people. What if you, even though you're married, have close friendships, what if you've never really felt that they were very deep? They were more surface. And a lot of that is because of, our past, negativity. And then there's something called a heart wall where you put a block around your heart and it protects you in times of turmoil. But when things are going good, the wall is still there. And so it makes you feel a little bit more numb when you interact with people. So, and I've been clearing heart walls for a while, but recently I found out that there are more than one heart wall than just a heart wall around your heart. So we'll be working on that too. So the cost is $30 for the month. Or if you've taken anything in my Abundance series before, it's going to be $25. So that's starting on October 17th. And you will also get a measure of abundance, lack, and stagnation. And I'll split those out and let you know where you're at with that. All right, so let's go on and do another healing pulse. Is everyone ready? So I want you to rub your hands together. So if you don't really know where you want to send this one, send heart or head. Otherwise, you know where to send it. Imagine my hands are on your hands. And look at little Duncan. He's here helping. Oh, Dunk. And just be open and allowing the energy to flow. Just breathe it in. Open and allowing. Open and allowing. Just breathe it in. Okay. That was Healing Pulse number 2 for the night. And let me just see what we did last week. So this week, we did brain balancing last week. I like doing those every other. So we'll be doing the Healing Pulse and the Aura Protection for tonight. So the Healing Pulse to go. All right. So let's go back to our list. If anyone new has come in, let me know, or if you want to work on something else. Otherwise, I will go back around and use what you have listed before. Okay, so I'm going to switch to a different sheet. Okay, Valerie, we'll just keep working on that anxiety. That's good you're yawning, because every time you yawn, you're releasing, making room for healing. All right, Joan, self-recrimination. Let me get an age on that. And there's some naughty doggies outside barking and barking and barking. Okay, so let's get an age on self-recrimination for Joan. All right, Shri, I will add you to the list just to see. Duncan, come here. I think the neighbors are walking their dogs. They get very excited. What are you doing? Come here. Oh, yes. Oh. Lick, lick, lick. Why don't you sit down right there? No licking. No licking. All right. He thinks he's got to lick my face. It drives me nuts. I need that bitter apple spray, and I put it all over my chin. Think that would hurt? No, don't you even do that. All right, self-recrimination. I need an age for Joan. Around age 30, Joan. Self-recrimination. Let's release that. All right. So Shri, we're going to switch over and work on the night sleeping piece. Resentment. So let's get an age on that. $17, Shri. Let's release that. Okay, so that did release. And the voids have been filled. Okay, so let's see. Valerie, you're next. Indecision. Let's get an age for you, Valerie. $19, Valerie. Okay, so that released and the voids have been filled. Let's see, Jane. Working on that intuition. All right, let's see. Panic, Jane. Let's get an age for panic. Age 16, Jane. So that's playing a role in not connecting to that inner guidance. Let's release that. Okay. So that released and the void has been filled. Marina, we're gonna go back. That heartbeat. Let's see if there is an emotional reason why. Good, Jane. So that's good that we released that. And Marina, it's just one word, but it's a little vague. It's concern. So let me give you an age with that and maybe it'll make sense. So when I ask, is this your concern? I get a no. So someone around you was concerned. But it played a role. in your life at that point. Around age 15, Marina, let's get rid of that, because this is a layer dealing with your heart. Yes, it was your mother. So let's get rid of that. And that did release. All right, Paula, you are next with your headaches. So I had a thought about your headaches, Paula. Last week we worked on bullying at work with you. So did the bully trigger your headaches, or is this something non-related? Overburdened, Paula. Let me get an age. "39, Paula. Okay, so let's release that. So Jane, with your questions, sometimes it's really obvious how it helps you achieve whatever you're hoping to either achieve or heal. Other times it's not so obvious. Dr. Bradley Nelson, who did a lot of the emotion work with the Emotion Code book, his explanation is that anything can cause anything. And sometimes there is a really obvious direct correlation to a trapped emotion in what you're currently experiencing. But sometimes there's not. But when I muscle test, I do get that a piece of what is blocking your intuition is panic. So, and I don't know why. Maybe maybe back then when you were in a state of panic, it blocked your intuition. Maybe. That's just definitely 100% a guess. All right, so Paula, overburden has been released. And we've got Sissy left. And then we're going to do another healing pulse. And then we will move on to working with negative beliefs. Does your school encourage students meditating, Jane? I know there's some schools that have started incorporating that into classrooms, but many do not still. Okay, so let me just see. Panic for Sissy. Let me get an age on that. "29, so that's the same age as that other one. So let me ask, this is the same event? No, so different events, similar time frame though. Okay, so that released and the void has been filled. So is everyone ready for the next healing pulse? Let's do something a little different for this one. For those of you who want to deal with working on your intuition, think about what part of your intuition are you hoping to improve. So there's clairsentient, that where you feel it, claircognizant, where you know it. Oh, and what are the other clairs? So there's seeing, so seeing, feeling, knowing, hearing, clairaudient. So think about what clair, like if you want to work on hearing, send here. If you want to work on seeing, send here. Knowing, we're going to send to your pineal or your heart, because I do feel that your heart plays a role in your knowing. And for those of you who are working with other things that you want to direct your hands to, feel free to do that. All right, so let's go ahead. So rub your hands together and place your hands where you want to receive the healing pulse. And then next, be open and allowing of the energy to flow. Yes, intuition is, I mean, especially when you are in the groove and getting messages, it's amazing. And I've talked a little bit to Joan about this, but I'm hoping to maybe do some monthly abundance work with intuition. But we'll see. Because for me, I am just as much of a student as you guys are, but I've got lots of books to pull from, and part of the training would be releasing blocks. Yes, she is. So just breathe in that energy. And for those of you who breath plays a role in helping the healing pulse, why don't you do the box breath where you breathe in really deep and you hold it, and then when you let it out, release everything that doesn't belong and then hold it. So breathe in. Sorry. I need to do this every once in a while as a reminder that I need to stay in my office and kennel those little buggers. Yeah, you can tell. They've been locked up most of today and they are wild. So breathe in and hold. Breathe out and hold. That is only because you are an uber dog lover, Joan. Okay, so that was Healing Pulse number 3. Very exciting. So, with the negative beliefs, so remember a few weeks ago when we did the inherited emotions? I didn't really have a theme, so I think if you want to do this, we'll do it sort of similar, where you'll just put yes in the comments, and I'll see if there is something that's playing a role in how you are. All right, so let's just see. All right, so Joanne, you are first, so we will just see what comes up for you. And of course, I've got this, I printed it out somewhere, but I think it's in my office. So I'm just going to pull up the list and I'll have to go back and forth. So with this, there are, let's see how many there are, 8 times 12. So what is that? 80. What was that? 96 negative beliefs? How's that for math on a Thursday night? So let's see. What is the negative belief for Joanne that we need to clear? So it's the belief that says, I don't exist. And this is from when you were about 29, Joanne. Does that match up? All right, Marina, I'm putting you down too. So let's release that because that plays a role, Joanne, in being visible and invisible. All right, so did that release for Joanne? Yes. Okay, and the voids have been filled. Marina, let's see what comes up for you. And so with this, when I release the negative, like with Joanne's, I don't exist, I released that, removed it, but then I also instilled it with I exist, I'm visible. So Marina, the one that I get for you, and it comes up most recent, is I am stupid. And that, I know, is definitely not the case. But I sort of wonder if it's because of school. So let's get rid of this, okay? Because this is so not true. You are highly intelligent. So I'm going to release this negative belief. Okay, so that released. Okay. Anyone else want to do this? Just put yes in the comments. You guys are so quiet. Did you fall asleep after the last healing pulse? Duncan. Very quiet. Ooh, there's Valerie. Okay. All right, let's see what comes up for Valerie. Ooh, Valerie. I am nothing. Let's get an age on that, okay? Age 26. Let's definitely get rid of that. None of these are good. Okay. So that released. And the voids have been filled. All right. Anyone else? Ooh, it jumped. I've got more responses that weren't there before. Weird. Oh, Marina. You can't say that to yourself. That's not good. So from today forward, you can't say that, Marina. You definitely don't want to recreate that because you are a smart lady. All right, so I've got Jane, Joan, Paula, Shree. Did I miss anybody? You know, Joanne, we haven't heard from you tonight. Are you okay? Oh, there's Joanne. Oh, I did hers already. Yeah, Joanne, you've been quiet tonight. I hope you're okay. All right, so I did Joanne, Marina, and Valerie, and I've got Jane, Joan, Paula, and Shree. If I did not say your name, I missed you, let me know. Okay, Jane is next. I think I got everybody. Yeah, it's sort of fun to try different things and have different things come up. So let's see what comes up. Jane, I am unimportant. I so don't think that about you, Jane. Let me get an age, see if this makes sense. 28. All right, so let's go ahead and release that. So that's been released. And the voids have been filled. Joan, you are next. All right, Joan, for you, I get one that I don't think is true either. I'm awkward because especially if you can play hockey on skates, there's no way you can be awkward. But let's see if there's an age for this. Hold on. Dexter! Stop! There's something going on outside. They just have to bark. That's just not cool. All right, so Joan, an age for being awkward. Around age 26, Joan. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. So releasing and removing. I am awkward. Just seeing if I'm missing anybody. I am unimportant is considered a negative belief, and so you believe that about yourself. Joan, yours was I'm awkward at 26. I don't believe that, Joan. Padding, but to be on skates, and I live where people ice skate for a living? Yeah. Okay. Paula, you are next. Oh, I guess, and Tree. Didn't need this. Okay, so Paula, let's see what we've got for you. So, Paula, the one that comes up is I don't fit in anywhere. Let me get an age on that. Dexter, come here. Age 16. I think a lot of people could say that about 16. Let's get rid of that because it's not serving you now. So releasing and removing I don't fit in anywhere. Replace it with something so much better. All right. So that released and the void have been filled. Let's see if I missed anybody now. Let's see. Okay. All right. So if there's anybody else, last call for negative beliefs. Sort of a little different than what I typically do, but interesting. And hopefully it will help you too. All right, so guys are pretty quiet. So we will end with, we'll do the healing pulse. Oh, you know, I was going to talk about Mercury retrograde. Wow, Paula, that's sort of a powerful statement. I'm glad we found it. So, and maybe, so with all of you that had this negative statement that was embedded in your life, especially if you resonate with affirmations, make your own affirmation that's the opposite. You know, like Paula, I don't fit in anywhere. Well, let's flip that. I fit in everywhere I want to fit in, because that's part of it. Is if you want to fit in, you change your mindset. That's what you do. All right, so Joan, I am awkward. I so don't think you're awkward. And I imagine, especially when you're out skating with the guys, you are probably very graceful in all your hockey padding. And this is from someone who had season tickets for hockey locally. So I watch a lot of hockey. I can only imagine that you skate so beautifully. So take these negatives and flip it, and then keep repeating it. Sort of like what you did to instill the negative. You want to instill the positive. So I hope that makes sense and that's helpful. But maybe this is something we should talk about once a month and just see what comes up and what we can clear and what we can reinforce. Okay? All right, so here is 6 simple tips on how to use Mercury retrograde to your advantage. All right. So here are some ways that Mercury retrograde is actually incredibly positive. All right, so number 1, be careful and thoughtful in your communication with others. So because Mercury rules communication, so this is why internet goes down. This is one of the reasons why, there were Facebook communication issues where it went down. You're on a conference call and it drops. They blame a lot of this on Mercury retrograde. And it does seem to happen more during this time of the lunar cycles or the planet cycles than any other time, it seems like. So because Mercury rules communication, speak kindly to everyone, including yourself. And there is a guy, what is it, Miguel something Ruiz? He wrote the 4 Agreements. So his belief is, do your best to be impeccable with your words and don't take things personally. That can be a little difficult in these times, but especially if you are initially impeccable with your words, it's easier to have no regrets if you're impeccable with your words. Number 2, quietly communicate with yourself. So this is the perfect time to quietly assess what is going on with your life, what is going well, what isn't going so well. Spend some quiet time reflecting and writing things down. Number 3, get clear on what is no longer in alignment for you. Mercury retrograde is a good time to deconstruct things that do not serve you. We all need to do that regular. Number 4, be grateful to what's not working. So with this, you need to be grateful for things that have been challenging you, for they are there and here to embrace you with their lessons. Say thank you for learning opportunities as you make the decision to bring those lessons to completion. I know that is and will be a challenge for me. And I imagine many of you too, to show gratitude for things that show your flaws, that are difficult, that make you feel emotions that are not positive. But this is part of change and it's part of evolving. Okay, almost done. Number 5, save all the good parts and reuse them in a new way. There are many beautiful things in your life. As you clear the clutter of things you want to remove, the wonderful ones should become more apparent. How can you make them even better? Maybe there's a new way you can amplify those skills. Perhaps you can even be more loving towards someone who is a blessing in your life. That's a really nice idea there. Okay, the final one. Align with the planetary energy instead of fighting it. Remember that this is a time that is best used for quiet reflection and assessment. It is not the time to make big decisions or commitment. For example, if you're planning a new project, spend some time brainstorming and getting your ideas down on paper and allow it all to simmer. As much as possible, don't take action until Mercury retrograde is over. So what do you guys think? There was definitely some truth in there. Very interesting. Oh, and the guy's name, Don Miguel Ruiz. I forgot his middle name. All right. So, and unless there's anything else, I think we will close with, we're going to combine the aura protection with the healing pulse. And then you will get your week's worth of healing pulses in your baggie to go. sure. I'll share the link on Facebook, okay? Because it was just like a blog post that someone else wrote. That definitely isn't my original thing. It was, what's the gal's name? Olivia Poole. So I will share that with you because it had some good tips in there. All right. So with the aura protection, if this is new for you, sending energy to your aura will help repel negativity. It will make you energetically stronger. And especially in this day and age, when there's a lot of nasty things going on, it's important. And as you all have told me, that the more you've done this, the more you can feel it. So let's go ahead and send the energy now. If you want to just use your own energy, that is perfectly fine. If you want to pull in the healing pulse energy, basically you just set that intention. All right, so rub your hands together. And if you're going to use the healing pulse energy, now's the time to just sort of pull it in. And then start beaming that energy to your aura. Whether you do it this way or this way. And just imagine that energy going out and surrounding you and reinforcing the protection and increasing the protection of your aura. Just breathe it in. Okay, that was Healing Pulse number 4 for tonight. You guys did really good. Lots of cool healing tonight. Does anyone have any questions, any comments? Let me know how you're doing. Sure, both dogs are like laying here sleeping. You're not sleeping yet, huh? But you're quiet. Why couldn't you have been quiet for the last hour? Huh? Crazy doggies. All right, so I will post that, those 6 truths about Mercury retrograde. Let me know if anyone has any questions or comments. Is everybody sleeping? That wouldn't be the first time, right? There's a few of you that doze off, especially Marina. Marina, what did you say last time? It's 2 a.m. right now or 3 a.m.? And actually, I will put, I'm going to put that address here, but I also will put it on Facebook. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jane. Let her know we're thinking of her. Itty bitty babies. Yeah, that's tough. Especially when you can't bring them home. It's extra hard to go back and forth with COVID and hospitals. That's just scary. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me know that, Jane. And so, I think I will end this stream. But as always, thank you. Next week, I hope to see everyone here Thursday, 7 Central. Invite a friend next time. Yes, invite a friend. Okay, have a good night. I hope everybody has a good week. Bye.